I was trapped and broken down in a place where dreams are drowned, but I found glimmer and a spark of light. Even nightmares can be alright. I'm finding my way now, one step at a time. I know it's hard sometimes, just carry on. You will find a way. Find a way.
Alright. Hello. Hello. This may be a shocker, but I fell asleep putting the girls to bed. That would be why we're starting stream 2 hours late. Whoops. It is what it is, man. We're gonna work our way slowly through a little bit of content and kind of chill night. No big deal. We might play a couple team builds just to try to get some videos recorded, but I'm not gonna lie, man. All I can think about is the Battlefield beta coming back this weekend, which is probably a good thing that next week is the next weekend classic. It gives me a little more time to kind of focus back in before that. I do still have like 100 more points to get, I think, to get back to the 700 division that I want to play weekend classic games in. So we'll get there. We will get there. No biggie. Okay. What was the other one? Crawford? Yeah. I'm guessing he hit a home run against a lefty, because usually his cards are not inverse splits. I mean, it would make sense since this is the moment that we're getting. JP, Justice of the Peace. God, he's got a good swing. I mean, I know he's not great defensively in real life, but man, it's tough not, I love that Anthony Volpe didn't even get a shout out on my thumbnail. I just realized that. I put all those cards on there, and Anthony Volpe wasn't one of them. Got 3 diamonds to ping near the end of that rotation, and nothing. I hadn't done any of these moments yet, so let's do that so we can get the Rookie Verlander to finish the conquest with. I don't think I'm even going to need to actually finish the conquest, but not to complete the program, but to get all the cards, yeah. The fact that they gave him a sinker, and because usually 99 Verlander cards get something like a secondary fastball. It gets, you know, a cutter usually. This time they gave him a sinker on his 99, which is a little crazy because he doesn't have either on his live series. He just gets a 4-seam. Probably gets a hard slider too. I didn't even pay attention to what I was supposed to be doing, strikeout wise or anything like that. It is nice that there's a big chunk of 99, 98 pitchers now. That you can, like I said, I like to rotate my rotation through like 7 or 8 different starting pitchers in the Weekend Classic if I need to. Everybody just have ridiculous amounts of stamina and see if the viewer sources will level itself out here pretty soon. This Rookie of the Year one, not bad, man. It has outlier 4-seam. It has everything other than the sinker. It's got a 2-seam instead of a sinker. Say strikeout 3. It sure did. Yay. My least favorite moments in the game. Strike out 3 batters in 1 inning, which is near impossible to do against the CPU. Because, you know, it just won't swing at pitches barely out of the strike zone. Even if they're perfectly tunneled off of each other. If I do just a singular team build, I almost feel like it needs to be the Padres got a lot of cards in the last, couple drops. Mason Miller, Freddie Fermin, Ramon Laureano. I feel like there's another one I'm kind of forgetting about, but it was 3 strikeouts through 2 innings. Okay. Future teammates. You're fucking kidding me. Release a pitch early. Instead of it missing into the other batter's box, it goes right over the middle of the plate to Prince fucking Fielder. I think this Verlander card maybe. I've seen people posted videos already talking about how much they enjoyed it, but I haven't enjoyed the last couple 99 Verlanders because, like I said, they always get a cutter instead of a sinker, which I don't feel like really plays that well. Like, it does off an outlier four seam, but maybe last year's 99 didn't even have outlier. Am I crazy? I may be misremembering. I know for sure the Kaiju one in 23 did not. I believe it wasn't Incognito, it was Kaiju. I selected him as my BR program card. You know, back when you could only... Don't even get me started on that. Eddie Rosario. Man, I want a good Eddie Rosario card. 21 postseason. A flashback, something. I need to do a Houston team build. A Seattle team build. A San Fran team build now. I hope if they're going to do the captains the way they've done this year, I hope next year they make the upgrade like Madden does, where the card doesn't have to be for current, like, the card itself doesn't need to be like a Houston Astros Justin Verlander. They need to figure out how to get the logic where it's like, if people have ever played for that team, they qualify for the team captain builds. I believe Madden has that. I would much prefer that. Oh, this is the 99. Pitch mix has just changed up on me. I just realized that. Up to 97 on the sinker, I like that. It's still fairly hard. He does... I didn't check to see how hard his slider was. I think it gets up to 91, 92. Dude, young Verlander had so much electricity in his arm. He'd come out, throw 100 in the first inning, and then sit 96, 97 for 6 innings. Then the 7th or 8th, break out 100 again. He was so fun to watch when he was younger in Detroit. No, it only gets up to 89. Which, maybe with some parallels, it gets up to 90. I don't think it will. I'm gonna guess he already has 99 velo on the card. Why would it get more velocity after? Nice. $10, $20, $35. Okay, so I can literally just throw him like every game, get 5. Are we alive? Barely. Oh my god. Whoa. That was not great. I'm supposed to have way too good of internet to deal with some shit like that, man. It is nice that we got... I mean, I don't think Award Series is really one that needed more help. I feel like we've got a lot of Award Series cards lately. But I suppose... which ones from the Live Series collection am I not thinking of? Roger Clemens. Who else would be kind of difficult to get for people? I'm drawing a complete blank here. I think he's the only one. I mean, I guess Scott Rowland's a little harder to get for the more casual player. Oof. Good break on that changeup. Dang, man. I jumped up to 7 and then now the internet shit feels like I'm dropping. Brad Keller. I don't feel like we got a good Brad Keller card last year. But in 23, I feel like we got like 3 of them. He had like a silver or gold from BR early in the year that was decent, and then a low diamond. Man, that is pissed on right at somebody. Awesome. What does kind of stink is now I have missions to do with the Verlander card. Side note. Eli White has been on the Braves, I don't know how long, 3 years? I have never seen this man wear his pants down one time. He always has his pants pulled up to his knees. Why in the fuck is his player model got his pants down? I mean, he is your atypical speedy outfielder that wears his pants pulled up. It is one of the most disgusting things that they pay so little attention to real baseball that a dude that kind of like Mookie Betts' character model this year starting with his pants pulled down. Mookie hasn't worn his pants pulled down consistently since he was in fucking Boston. What are we doing, SDS? I know that's a little thing that most people probably won't notice or give a shit about, but as somebody who's like, that guy's a bench player for my team most of the time, except for this year when we've got all of our fucking injuries happening. He's actually like playing quite a bit for us. Could we figure it the fuck out and pay a little... Like, it's from a game that was supposed to be a big deal. The Speedway Classic was supposed to, like, granted, with the rain delay, it didn't get, because it was like the only game that night. It was supposed to be the only game that night. It didn't quite get that much spotlight, because it ended up getting, you know, moved back to the next afternoon. But it was still the only game on at that time. Fucking splitter. I could just feel that I was early and didn't want a full swing. Did I get 3 strikeouts to start the game? I think I did. I do need to use Willie Castro on like every single team build that I do though. Because with double PXP right now, I need to... He only gets to 80 speed at P5, which isn't terrible, but I need to get as much as I can. I think, was it total bases with Leover? Dude got a Future Stars card in 22 that I loved. I think it was a headliner, if I remember correctly. Our third Rhino Hearn card this year, so our third Rhino Hearn Diamond that's like squarely in the meta too. Like he got a, maybe it was a May, I think it was May, Spotlight card. Then we got the All-Star one before he got traded because he was the only Orioles All-Star. Which, I did the moments. I'd done enough missions, I guess. I don't need to be using Jarren Duran and Willie Adames if I don't want to. Which it does help PXP with San Fran. I didn't think about that. Extra base hits or total bases with Eli White? I do not remember. 99 speed, only 80 steal on him though, which is still great. Honestly, he's probably going to be my Braves team second baseman until we get another Ozzy Albies card, if we ever do, because he's played so shit this year. Willie Castro really benefits from the Cubs boost too. It gives him extra contact versus righties, which he could really use power as well, but then it like maxes his power out versus lefties, because I believe it's contact right and then power left. I guess he throws a slower slider. I thought he threw a hard one, and that was why sometimes he got the cutter. Because he would throw his slider slower and he would throw it harder. I feel like sometimes that's how they kind of manipulate guys not having multiple fastballs, is like if they throw their sliders at multiple speeds, then you can kind of say, oh, well, that's the hard slider. Which I'm going to have to, I don't have to preface it, I guess, but for my bullpen, I was hoping Jarren Duran got a better pitch mix, like his first couple cards did, but then thankfully for facing Jarren Duran, I'm glad that he didn't. Perfect out, yeah. The first Jarren Duran card we got his rookie year, that Tops Now, had a cutter on it. I think it's still the only reliever card I've ever parallel 5'd. He was my opener in 2022 when I first learned that was kind of a thing that people did. He had outlier four seam, slider, cutter, and then a normal splitter, not an outlier splitter. And like I said, they gave us a 99 later in the year, and or maybe he didn't have a slider and it was just a cutter. I don't remember. They took his cutter away on his finest card, and it wasn't even as good as the like 91, 92, 93. It was a low 90s card. I don't even remember. Ian Happ hitting 9-hole, huh? I thought he was hitting leadoff for the Cubs, but maybe that was just earlier in the year. Probably not smart since he is dead red. Oh well. 8 strikeouts. It's decent. if I could have Cedric Mullins after that. No, I still haven't completed that yet. Man, a good bullpen arm too for the Cubs team that it desperately needed. Houston. Could get a little Houston love in here. There aren't very many major league teams that you see a common in their starting lineup. And it is kind of sad to see it with the Twins, who were pretty good the last couple of years. Oh, I did not recognize that at all. The batter's eye here is just so abysmal. I thought that was a slider. Dear God. All right, Michael. It's a good pitch. I would have rather hit that pitch, but, you know, he got a good jump. Oh, I got around the cutter. Dang. Just a little too early. I thought I sat back on it. Next year, we have the next World Baseball Classic next year, right? If I remember correctly. I don't think he has that good of a steal rating. I want to say it's in like the 30s, which isn't great. 54. That's still like a coin toss on steal attempts. Don't love that. Don't think I squared that up enough. Yeah, it's going to have me fly out. Okay. It's alright. Just get to pitching. We'll score more runs in the next inning. I know I said something about it when this transaction first happened, but I would really like to see James Outman kind of bounce back in Minnesota. He had such a good start to his career, honestly. Jumped out, especially with the struggles that Bellinger had had. It was nice for the Dodgers anyway. Not that I care what's nice for the Dodgers, but that he was actually performing pretty well. And then just the last 2 years, yikes. I mean, to the point where I don't know that I heard much about him at all this year. I really can't think of anything that I heard about James Outman this year. And last year was kind of just not good news about him. He wasn't playing well. Outlier that only gets to 100 for some reason. I want to say it was extra base hits with this dude, so it's not great that I keep hitting fucking perfect singles. Wait, that program's over. It doesn't matter. Never mind. Dang. I didn't feel late on that swing, but I haven't played in a week, so maybe that's why. Oof, just a little too late. What a play by the ball boy. My God. What a spot. Okay. The Twins definitely need Royce Lewis to bounce back. Him just being injury prone at the big league level has not been great. That's what took his debut apparently forever, is that he had multiple season-ending injuries in the minors, and it kind of delayed his progression, or, you know, they didn't want to rush to get him called up to the big leagues. But I feel like, as far as their young core, Brooks Lee has looked amazing, obviously, with his 20-whatever game hit streak this year. But they really need these young guys to start carrying the load for them, especially if they end up not bringing Buxton back this offseason, which seems like it'll probably be the case by, you know, all reports. Like, everybody seems to think that he's not going to be. He's got 2 years left or 3 years left on his deal, I think. Major League ballparks are so dumb. I know I was slightly under that, but that is max contact, max power against a fucking live series bronze. And it stays in the ballpark. Okay. Just got my Badusi away. A little more breathing room for Verlander since his energy's getting low. Oh. It wasn't the cutter, it was the slider. So it was early and on top of it. Could do a Pirates team build sometime soon. I know this card's technically a primary first baseman, but he can play short. Well, he could just play first, and I could bring back Honus to play short. Okay, I didn't square that up. Haven't hit great against the CPU with this Eli White card yet. Seven strikeouts? Yeah. I don't need to throw a no-hitter in a fucking Conquest game. I need the strikeouts for the mission. Just in the game, whatever. 8 strikeouts out of 9, and he's got no energy. One more card. And is there one for the Dodgers that I'm not thinking of? I mean, I get Laureano for completing it. Yeah, Brock Stewart. Man. I don't know who needs to be in my bullpen. I feel like he throws kind of funky and he has sinker cutter. They had taken his cutter away the last year and a half. His first spotlight card that they gave him had sinker cutter in 23. Change the team up a little. Except the game died, so we get to restart the whole game. Right, I'm gonna see if I can pull him out of my. I've got a few of the packs, Mike, and I loved DeVries's spring breakout card. He was my shortstop to start the year. I even got him to parallel 5, I think, and so I really do hope I pull him so I don't have to spend the stubs on him, but I might have to buy him. I'm gonna have to mute that because it won't stop doing this stupid syncing shit, and I'm about to get DMCA'd by the fucking song that I can't skip. God. Why has it started doing that shit to me today? I've never had an issue with that before. But yeah, the DeVries card is very good. I've seen a lot of people actually playing him more at second than short. I hadn't played in about a week, so we're to the point in the year, I really wish they'd take the first half of the headliners out of the pack rotation so that you just don't even get it. They're like worthless cards that everybody already has because you give away headliners like standard packs. You charge $7,500 for them in the store, but then you give them away like candy. Like, I've had every single one of these cards since the day they came out. I don't remember if I need some of those tops nows. I feel like I have all of these. I know I don't have the Aranda one. And for anybody that's not sure why they gave us these April, it's because these tops nows from April had started getting stupid expensive. But yeah, I'd rather not spend, $88K. He would be on my God squad. I mean, I'm debating running Willie Castro at short. So I mean, if I get him, then he's going to go to short, and Willie will go somewhere else, probably to second, because he's better defensively than Willie. I have every other one of these cards besides that. I bought them to, and I would really like to pull. I think it's still 1 and 3, right? If I could pull one of these two so I could buy the other, I like to stay ahead of, the Lightning. I didn't have to pay out the wazoo for Griffey because of the fact that I'd been keeping up every single week before they announced that it was going to be Griffey. So it is rookie, so we can just go ahead and do it. Robleski's starting for him, huh? I do love his spotlight card from last month, 2 months ago. Whatever it was. And we're jogging down the line. In spite of the fact it wasn't fielded cleanly and we could get there, we go into a jogging animation because it was hit at a fielder. Fucking hate this game sometimes. That's so dumb. Yeah, I'm still kind of in the point in the year where I'm not paying 200, 300,000 subs for a card though, so I'm not buying chase pack cards for my lineup. Not when there's free options that are almost as good. Like I've been running 98 Francisco Lindor at second ever since he came out. I've got him P5. I'm hitting like 490 with like 20 bombs on Hall of Fame so far. So, I would like that Cattell. I would like that Jimmy Rollins. But, I'm not going to buy them. I like having the stubs to do the collections when they come out immediately. And that's right at him. Cool. Correa at third. Yeah, I'm probably going to play Jose Bautista at third because I'm a Braves homer and Ronald's going to be in my lineup. So he's going to stay in right. And I'll put Bautista out there in third base. He does have a great arm, and third base defense doesn't matter. Yeah. Hey, that's a good idea. I did see there was a flash sale today. I did not get a chance to see if any cards dipped real good. I should have tried to do something like that. Buy some live series guys that dipped really hard and then sell them when they inevitably start going up because pack odds aren't worth a shit this year. So yeah, I'm probably gonna try to invest a good bit. I need to watch a couple videos and see who's likely to get big upgrades because the next stat upgrade roster update is going to involve fielding. It's the one fielding update of the year, and so there are going to be some guys that make giant jumps because of their fielding being so good this year. Like, I don't know if it's on anybody's radar, but Nick Allen's been the best defensive shortstop in baseball, and he's like a bronze. So does he jump up to a gold just because of his fielding? Maybe. Because he should get 99s across the board fielding. Maybe not arm strength, but like arm accuracy, reaction, fielding. Bobby and Cattell. I'm always worried about Cattell in those instances because he's such a viable card that like a lot of people end up wanting him for their lineup. Even at this point in the year, he's only like a 91, but his swing's so good. Cattell went down to 43,000, which Cattell is playing really good. He's another one of those guys that he could continue, and especially this year where he's actually hitting better against righties than lefties. He could continue inching up. I mean, he could end up being a 94 overall in the next update. You never know. He's been hitting bombs. I'm glad they've finally started doing some shit like that, though, trying to help people finally finish live. It's too late in the year for people not to have live series done. Like, even the most casual, no money spent people. I say it every time I do a pack opening, though, man. I haven't pulled a single live series 90 plus this year. And there are more 90 pluses than there were. I'm yapping and swinging up shit. There's more 90 pluses now than there was when I did the collection. Andy Pajes might be a 90 overall. He got upgraded to Diamond in the last roster update, but he hasn't had his fielding touched yet, and he's been like the best defensive outfielder in baseball this year, apparently. According to like the metrics that they, judge it all by. So, Here we go. The Braves are my favorite team, unfortunately. It's been a rather tumultuous year for us. We got guys not playing up to their potential. We got injuries out the freaking wazoo. It's been... I thought last year was bad, injury-wise. I mean, this year's been just as bad, and unfortunately the guys that aren't injured are having career low points over the last 5 years, like Ozzy Albies. But it is what it is. That's sport. I was going to say it's just baseball, but it's just sports. I remember, so I'm originally from Oklahoma. I'm an OU fan, but my best friend went to Oklahoma State. And like 2 years ago, they were supposed to be like top 3 in the Big 12. And then they had so many damn injuries on the offensive line, they were down to like 3rd string at every position on the offensive line. That's just sports. Or like the Pacers, and I'm an Oklahoma City Thunder fan. I really hated to see... I'm drawing a blank on the dude's name. Tore his Achilles in the finals. Hated to see that. After the postseason run they went on, the great season that he'd had, it really sucked to see their star player go down in the finals. But you just got to find a way to get around stuff like that. Injuries are the worst, man. That, and then like I said, players that are supposed to perform for your team underperforming, it hurts really bad. Like I said, I'm an OU football fan. And so our guy that was supposed to be our starting quarterback going into last year was the number one two-way, or not two-way, dual threat, thinking baseball, number 1 dual threat player in his recruitment class. And then he gets his chance to start for us, and come to find out, the dude can't read a fucking secondary to save his life at the college level. So, good luck to his dumb ass at Auburn, I guess. And now, we've got, you know, the rumors into our guy that transferred in, which I don't think necessarily he was actually gambling on anything. Because why in the world would you label stuff sports betting? I think they were being stupid kids, not thinking about the consequences if anybody ever saw that. Because they also had a whole bunch of other ones that I saw screenshots of that were like payment for anal sex, turning gay, Brian's big cock, stuff like that. I think they were just being, you know, stupid 18, 19-year-old college kids like I was. I was a dumbass freshman, sophomore, junior in college. And so, you don't expect people to ever see that. And it, just really not great. No, I'm doing Conquest right now. I'm probably going to do a couple ranked games here in a little bit, Marcos. I'm probably going to do one with like all of the really good cards from this past weekend drop that I haven't used yet. And then I may do like one team specific build. I can't really decide if it's going to be like the Padres or the Giants. They both got a lot of cards that I could make a decent team build out and try to make a video out of. Right now I want to say it's like low 600s. I haven't played a whole lot since the last Weekend Classic. I try playing the Weekend Classic at like the 700 rating, so it's not too sweaty. And then I hit World Series during the Weekend Classics. I'd pushed and made World Series before in the last or in the first two weekend classics, and didn't really enjoy playing the weekend classics at all because everybody was, you know, just like me. They hit World Series and stopped, and I'd been trying to play a lot more ranked though up before this last weekend because I was really excited to play the Battlefield 6 beta. So I didn't even touch the show this last weekend. Thought that was a sinker for some reason out of his hand. Man, they scored that an error on that last one. And then a perfect ground out. Wow. Teoscar ran all the way to the left center gap. And on a running play, the ball bounced off his glove. And they scored it an error. That's crazy. Holy shit. Okay. I was really hoping for the other animation where he played that off a very short hop and could get a throw to second, and instead he overran the ball. Mickey Rowe. Only the fourth strikeout. Okay. Okay, not as many strikeouts that game as I would have liked, but it is what it is. The Dodgers got a few more better players on their live series roster than the ones that I played going into that, so especially when you get lower in your stamina, it's harder to get the strikeouts. Yeah, I still can't believe they scored that in air. Dude ran 200 feet and it tipped off the end of his glove. Okay, so that gets me Correa. And it gives me the ability to sell those two if I want, because I'm already done with the collection. Nice. So I was thinking he doesn't have first base secondary. He does have decent fielding though. He's almost a bronze fielding there. They did give him a 4-seam back on this, which isn't super necessary for this card to be good, but it does help a little bit. I suppose I could do this to give them a little extra power since there's a few of them. Jeremy Pena was their all-star card. I was trying to think of who their all-star card was. Gives them 5 extra power both sides. That helps. It's a little better. Alright, so we're just trying to finish the Verlander one. 30 more points, my god. 2 more wins. 15 more Ks. That's 15. 25. Oh, it's all pitchers, so it doesn't even matter. Oh, okay. Yay. How many? I feel like there was way... No. There's 5 again. Got 3 packs. 1 in 20 at the 99, but the special insert's not 1 in 20, it's even less than that. It's referring to the 3 other 99s, and then the special insert's like more like probably 1 in 100, maybe even less. I think they said it was only the Diamond Quest that had a restricted lineup thing, right? I don't believe the Conquest map had a restricted lineup to the expansion teams. I think it was just the Diamond Quest. I really am so tired of Conquest. I wish they could come up with some other ideas for offline modes, because this taking 20-30 minutes just to fill up the board for the sake of filling up the board is kind of old to me. I feel like Diamond Quest was a good step in the right direction. I don't mind mini-seasons. I do kind of hate when they tie a card directly to mini-seasons and make it non-sell, though. Because, like, there's times where I especially don't want to spend, 4 hours playing mini-seasons offline. And to do a collection sometimes, when they first come out, you have to do the freaking minis. Like, I waited a couple days to do the All-Star one, because I didn't want to grind through mini-seasons to get that Schwarber. I still haven't finished that mini-season for it, because there was a better Schwarber that came out. And by the time we got the Home Run Derby cards and the All-Star Game cards, like, I'd finished the All-Star collection without having to do it. $43 against 2, and I lose that many. That's crazy. That's really what annoys me. I feel like they would never admit this, but Conquest is coded to try to waste as much of your time as it can. Like, the ratio of your reinforcements against the computer's reinforcements doesn't make sense a lot of times with how you lose. Like, at a certain point, you should just be demolishing these guys, and it doesn't seem to work that way most of the time for some reason. Like there, it made sense. 28 against 2. Shouldn't lose a single thing. One of these against ones, I'm going to lose 1 or 2. It's just... There it is. Like I said, I feel like it's coded to just try to waste as much of your time and keep you engaged in the game longer. I feel like that's a lot of people's complaints with the offline content that we get in this game. Like, I know a lot of people have referred to it as homework. If you just made it not feel like it was intended to just waste our time, I don't think people would care as much. Call me crazy. The Angels don't own anything on the board except for a slot of 2 way away from their stronghold. They shouldn't be moving anything anymore. 63-2, and let's lose 5. Cool. That's initially my only real complaint with Conquest. Like, when you're taking the spaces up on the board, don't make it feel like it's intentionally just trying to waste my time. $45 against 2, and I lose 7. 38 against 1. probably need to hang on to those new random deluxe choice packs as long as they're choose one, because then I can wait and try to take some shots next week at Leo Dallas DeVries. Old King Leonidas. Dear God, why? Contains one. That's terrible. Don't assign me one random one, please. That's so bad. Especially this point in the year. I know that, like, the new threads have jumped up, so if I got an old new threads, I wouldn't hate it, but yay. Alright, well, I don't have to do that right now, I guess. I can honestly set up one more. I need, if anybody has some input on this, please let me know. I feel like some people's privacy settings don't let me be notified about new subscribers, because it's still happening with a completely different overlay service that I'll get 1 or 2 subscribers that don't pop up with my alert. And I want to thank everybody when they subscribe. So whoever subscribed and it didn't tell me, I'm sorry. Thank you for subscribing. I feel like that might be a privacy setting for some accounts. I don't know, because it's still happening. Maybe it's because I have Stream Elements open? I don't think so. Oh, change up. That stinks. Beat it into the ground. I do also like, which I guess it makes sense, most of these New Threads 2.0 cards for the trade deadline, they're good cards for teams that are already pretty good. It makes sense that they gave DeVries a good card because he's one of the top prospects in baseball. But I do kind of wish there would have been maybe a couple more of those where like the pieces that moved to the other teams, maybe even if it was just the prospects. Like, it's hard to know if the prospects are going to be good, I know, but it would have been cool to have seen a couple more of those maybe scattered in there. Help those fan bases out that like just offloaded a bunch of their talent. I thought that was the cutter. No, let's throw the slider up in the zone first pitch. This game's so ridiculous sometimes. Having you hit into certain scenarios. And that's just going to be a fly out. Yeah. That's par for the course. Another thing, like, we gave Anthony Volpe the spotlight card, who's been arguably one of the worst shortstops in baseball and had 1 week of like decent hitting, so we're going to find our way to wedge him a 99 overall card in this year's game, even though he's been atrocious. Instead of the guy that hit 2 home runs in that game, the special game that's taken the place of the Field of Dreams game this year, we wanted to make such a big deal out of it. A guy that played at the University of Tennessee, hit 2 home runs in Tennessee, the first 2 home runs ever hit in the state of Tennessee in a major league game, and you give him a Topps Now card that's got like 90s contact and 100s power. It's so fucking weird. I guess they were just like trying their hardest not to give another Braves player or Reds player a decent card that soon, since we just had 2 programs that focused on them. But that really fucking sucks, man. So does lining out at 102 miles an hour on a perfect swing. 110, 117 against a common pitcher with 54 hits per 9. Cool, cool. Don't have any complaints on that. I was on top of that pitch, so. But, man. It's also a little strange to me. If Altuve was a couple home runs, stolen bases away, whatever it was, from his 250 mark in his career, why did we give him the spotlight card that has such bad speed and stealing? When it's kind of a, especially for a second baseman, man, that's a pretty big milestone to hit. 250 home runs by a second baseman is nothing to scoff at. Now, the speed side of it, Altuve's never been the speediest guy. He was pretty quick initially in his career, but we couldn't have held off and given him a card like a week or two later, and it made a little more sense for the career milestone that he hit. Like this Friday's spotlight card. Kind of like we haven't got a Trout card all year, and it feels like they're just waiting for him to hit 500 home runs to finally give him a card. I think he's 2 away. Probably should have used a Houston pitcher there, but I don't feel like I'm going to get enough PXP from bringing in a Houston pitcher every now and then to make a difference in that program. It's just going to be using the rookie Verlander. And I guess it spun the wheel for me. Okay. Oh, I put it one away. What am I doing? Idiot. I wasn't paying enough attention to where I put the reinforcements there. Games like that, though, man, like I said, the mode already feels like it's doing everything it can to waste as much of your time as possible. And then I had that many well-hit balls at Coors that just lead to outs, and next thing I know, the 3-inning game's just fucking over. That was a really slow four-seam, holy cow. What a terrible jump out of 99 stealing. Wow. They got to rework base stealing and throwing runners out next year, man. It's atrocious. Online, it's easy as shit to steal second base, impossible to steal third base, and the throw meter popping up for the catcher, like pausing your guy's progress online, is the dumbest shit, because it'll bug the shit out every once in a while, and your guy will just come to a complete stop, and then he's having to start his momentum over from zero, and you're just hosed. Like, I'm pretty sure I've been thrown out one time with that Acuna card. I was looking at Altuve as I was trying to say that. But I've been thrown out one time by Acuna because the throw meter popped up, and so he stopped running, like at that faded portion of the dirt, and then tried to start running again, and it didn't even matter if it was a perfect throw or not. He was running at like 70% speed. Under that a little too much, I bet. Jason Adams is a good reliever, so he's about to have 100 hits per 9 probably. Yeah, right on the dot. Okay. It is nice that since they made the first Willie Castro the most atrociously expensive card in the show history, that they finally gave us another one, and it's free in the collection as long as you, like, work your way through the content. Didn't get up to that, too. I remember, especially just a lot of the content creators in the show community, they were, like, up in arms over the way that card was built, because it was in the midst of us complaining about how poorly cards were built, with way too much discipline, way too much durability, and then this freaking 92, 93 Willie Castro comes out with no discipline, no durability, no base running aggressiveness, and like max contact both sides, 80 power both sides. It was like, what are we doing, guys? So clearly you know how to build cards to make them good at this point. You just don't want to in certain scenarios. When I was playing a little bit while my daughter napped today, I had a perfect in Showdown with Ramon Laureano that wasn't even close to being a fair ball. A perfect swing on a pitch that was in the strike zone, and it was foul by like 10 feet. It was pretty wild. What is going on, man? My OBS just randomly disconnecting for the second time already tonight. I am glad that it has that feature where it doesn't like destroy my stream and I have to like start the whole stream over. It just reconnects. I don't know if that leaves. He only got 97 power. Wow, it didn't. What do you know? It's like I play this game too much. I don't remember that in previous MLB The Shows. If it's just this year, I love it. I noticed it with that New Threads Bregman to start the year. I love that guys that, kind of traditionally get hate on the road, they chant overrated at them. I think it's an awesome addition. What a play. Fuck you. Which, speaking of, it was pretty hilarious that Bregman got a standing ovation in his first at-bat back in Houston, and then he hit a home run, and so the second at-bat he comes up, they booed him. We love you. We miss you, Bregman. Hey, fuck you, man. Another good example, which not really because the Braves team's already so loaded with good outfielders. The Braves theme team. You could use this Ramon Laureano card since he played for the Braves last year, but the card has to be for the team or it doesn't fit the captain boost. I feel like if they're going to make the requirements as high as they have this year, they need to change it to the Madden style where, like, if the players ever played for that team, not the card has to be for that team. Dang. Yeah, I was on top of it. Don't think it's going to let me score any more runs. It's kind of what it feels like. The Willie Castro swing, sure. That swing should have at least been a single to right field. I'm surprised that wasn't a line out because that wasn't a great swing. Excuse me. I still don't have a hit with this Correa. What the heck? Well, that's over now. I do miss the wrist watch tap. No doubt that he had. Was it only in 22 or was it in 23? I don't remember. It was cool. I'm glad this weirdo hadn't got a good card this year. He had the Soul Series card last year, and it wasn't even that great, but it was a viable card, that's for sure. Wow, that's the first home run with that card. Right at the second baseman. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Oh, that got me the finest voucher for Detroit. Nice. Surely by the time I finish this conquest, I'll be done with the Verlander program. Just based off of innings pitched, strikeouts, PXP. He's going to be at least P2 by the time I finish this map, I think. Eduardo Rodriguez is a bronze again. That's nice. I remember using him a couple times in moonshot events, and I was just thinking to myself, man, the fact that he's a common's kind of wild. The fact that that was a no doubt animation on a just late that I was under to center field here. And then a perfect's not. Okay. Oh, he doesn't throw as low as he used to. That's crazy. I should have taken that pitch. His cards typically, like his knuckles are dragging the mound. They've got him more like sidearm instead of true submarine now. That is a moonshot. Wow. I believe he has breaking ball hitter as well, so that's awesome. It's at least triple. Just triple. Man, Ronald's swing just creates great lift. And honestly, that card feels like, for some reason, it still has some quirks on it, even though it doesn't, like that. just late on a first pitch fastball, it feels almost like it has dead red or first pitch hitter on it. I don't think they actually have this lineup correctly for the Diamondbacks. Corbin Carroll and Ketel Marte have not hit yet. So here's Ketel, which means Corbin Carroll is at the highest hitting fourth, which I do not think is correct. Oh, it was a slurve, not a slider, that's why. But that's not a no doubt. Like I said, that Acuna card feels weird, almost like it's got hidden quirks on it. The fact that other people's perfects aren't getting no doubts and both his have been no doubters. Ah. It's just not a sinker. Can't get a backdoor take on a two-seam. I hadn't paid attention. I know the Rangers and the Diamondbacks were actually playing this week. It was like a rematch from the 23 World Series. Is he kind of reverse split on this card? Yeah, 112, 115. Dang. Is Jordan Lawler actually playing for the Diamondbacks now after the trades? Hey. He's honestly pretty balanced across the board. God, that's awful. That's worse. You do get that card, I guess. That's terrible. That's not bad. I don't have the good Yordon. And man, this live series is not good. It's not a great team build. Holy cow. I did not realize that. Dustin May with no outlier. Hey. And no changeup. That's going to be a tough one. first team soon. They didn't give him shortstop secondary, I forgot about that. With his fielding being that high, could he possibly play second? I don't want that card playing second. Yeah, it's power that he gives. So you get a tier 2. And it gives you 5, right? Yeah. Let's see what a Giants team would be. Was it Robbie Ray that was their pitching captain? Yep. Ooh. Forgot about that. Him there, and then you still have Camilo Duvall technically. Yeah. Kind of like that. He has shortstop secondary, so that's why his fielding's significantly higher. Okay. Let's look at the Padres one. Ew. The card's just bad. Man. Mets. But they've got so many damn cards. Their boost has got to be nothing now, right? It's really not nothing. It's better than the freaking Braves boost. They don't have a catcher, so I suppose that does hurt their boost a bit. Bullpen's where this one's gonna go nuts, isn't it? Yep. So it's not as bad as I initially thought. He doesn't play shortstop. Oh my god. Okay. Seeing their freaking captain boost is worse. So it's gonna go pretty crazy. Guess I need to drawn. Yeah. Harder to get tier 3. One spot away from getting tier 3 actually. Why did they both get power left? Why didn't we balance these out good? They were literally back-to-back team affinity drops, so we're double dipping on power versus left that nobody on this team really needs except for the lefties. And that's why everybody seems to be lacking power right, because they're not fucking getting any. Awesome. Gives power, but you have to use the bad McCutcheon to get contact, so you don't get contact with anybody. I feel like Bryce Miller was a gold to start the year. I just became very aware of the fact that I just sat here in silence for like 30 minutes. I apologize. I'm starting to get very tired in spite of the fact that I fell asleep for 2 hours and started stream late. We're off to a great start. Very early, not even especially close to it, and it goes into fair territory. That's cool. Interesting to bring the lefty in after a lefty goes deep, but okay. Especially since both those guys are significantly better against the lefty. Is there a lefty coming up now? No. This guy's got higher contact against lefties. Just the weirdest choice I think I've ever seen. I believe it was Grant Holmes pitching in the game where Suarez hit his 4 home runs, wasn't it? The last one was off Iglesias, but I am almost positive he hit the other 3 off of Grant Holmes. Not to mention, Josh Naylor spent 60% of his season in Arizona, now that I thought of that. Two perfect outs with Acuna this game. That's cool. It's a fucking rookie CPU game on Conquest. Oof, a little late. Wants me to actually take that to center. I was trying to go to right center. Thought I was a cutter. Floated really, really bad on me there. Nice. I've done that a lot tonight against CPU. Four seam up and just not got up to it. Interesting lineup. Might be kind of close to what they're actually running, though. Trout hitting fourth. A few people in front of him trying to get him RBI opportunities with him DHing. Right. Nice. Nice. Well, they do have Trouton right. I feel like he's been DHing most of the time lately, though. Was he a White Sox? I feel like Connor Brogdon was a White Sox to start this year. So I've got Darno DHing or Ohapi, one of the two. Darno's DHing, okay. Who was Moncada? I was gonna say, how am I facing Rengifo for a second time? Oh. Okay. This card's probably actually gross. Max pitch breaks on almost everything. Great control. Probably open packs tomorrow night, I guess, because this isn't actually a whole lot of packs, and I'm gonna stream and play the show tomorrow night. Probably actually play online. Mile High Moonshot. Well, we may be playing in events, I guess. I need one more. None of you have a decent pitch mix. At least you kind of have decent hits for 9, my god. Alright, I think I'm gonna call it a night there. Do have something else surprising planned for a video to add to a team build for a video tomorrow night. But since I never got around to actually playing online, I'm not gonna do it yet. So appreciate everybody hanging out, swinging by. We'll be live again tomorrow night. Shouldn't be a late start tomorrow night, but we shall see. Should be around the usual 9-10 o'clock.